You know, really pleased with our guys. We talked about, before the game, these guys, the way they prepare for each and every opponent, the respect they have for each and every opponent. The way they work, they don't allow a record or perceived outside, what something's going to happen, take away from their focus. We talked about playing with maximum effort and maximum concentration for 40 minutes, and I thought they did that. We got off to a little bit of a slow start, but from there I thought, after the first 17 possessions, they had 17 points. We really dug in, and until the final 5 minutes, our defense, really fueled everything, and got out, ran, shared the ball, and I want to make sure to. My first year here, there wasn't very much in terms of highlights or good stuff. Two of the highlights and two amazing young men, Sam Mervis, Nick Hittle. I want to make sure I touch on that. Those guys, in a really tough situation, they didn't. I came here. I chose to come here. They didn't choose me. They came here for a different coach, different system, different culture, and I came in, and those guys not only accepted me, but they just were unbelievable young men. Sam's work ethic here is still legendary. Nick battling back from a back injury, basically beating Missouri State by himself, making 4 threes here. Those guys, and then I think you learn a lot about somebody, how they leave a place, right? You can tell a lot about somebody by how they leave. There's some people that leave a place and are really small and petty and vindictive and try to burn it down on the way out. And then you got people like Sam and Nick who leave a place and do it with class and gravitas. And Isaiah Swope, I've said this, when he went in the portal, Isaiah Swope's not here if it's not for Sam Mervis. He's the one who told him, hey, that's a great place to go to school, a great culture, a place you want to be a part of. And that just speaks volumes to who both of those young guys are, and I want to make sure I touch that here, because that first year was really rough. But those two guys, my relationship with them, those were two of the highlights of that year.
Questions, please. Coach, like I asked Robbie, shorthanded, obviously, not just Isaiah, but bench, obviously not a team today.
No.
Had to be a good feeling to go out there and see you put up 98, you win by the margin, you win by 2, you got 6 guys in double figures too.
Yeah. It was. We knew going in, of course, you're playing without your leading scorer, and that's always scary. This is a team that was up on Duke at halftime, up on Duke in the second half, was up double digits on Fort Wayne the other night, who's 9-1 as well. It's a team that we had a lot of respect for, and with Jake out with sickness, obviously. We only dressed 9 today. Augie's just coming back from being sick. Jaden Schertz sick. Swope out with his knee. So we knew. But I told the guys before, we have enough. We believe in our team. We believe in our depth. We believe in the kind of players, we have. We understand, some of these guys don't get as much opportunity because of how good the guys are ahead of them. It has nothing to do with them individually. It's just, when you're talking about guys like Isaiah Swope, Brian Conwell, Julian Larry, Jason Can, Robbie Avila, Jabba, there's a lot of experience. Jake Wolf, a lot of really good players, a lot of experienced players. These young guys are having to wait their turn, but they're practicing against those guys every single day. And adversity is always opportunity, right? Everybody's life, you're gonna hit adversity, but there's always an opportunity inside of adversity to make good of it. And the opportunity for us was for those guys to step up and get minutes, and we told them, hey, you're going to play, and we knew going in, JD, Eli, obviously Derek's already playing, but all 9 guys are going to play and be ready, and I thought they were all really, really good. Derek didn't score a ton, but 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Jaden Daughtry, obviously, 15, 11, and 13 minutes, 13, 14 minutes, and Eli, 13 points in 17 minutes. Those guys were tremendous, and I thought our starting group was equally as good. The way they played allowed us to get a margin and allowed those guys to get significant minutes, and that's going to really benefit our team moving forward, that those guys were able to play 13, 14, 15 minutes, 17 minutes with the lights on, with referees in front of a crowd. That's going to benefit those guys, because that's how you, like I told them, those young guys, they can really play. Those minutes, while for fans are probably like garbage time, like, that's, it doesn't matter, we're up by 30. That, to me, is their opportunity to audition, to say, hey, I can play, but not only can I play the way we play. I can play with a level of detail and physicality. We need defensively. I can play with a level of unselfishness and precision. We need offensively. I show you that I can play inside. Not just that I can play, but I can play the way Indiana State plays. They get those opportunities there down the stretch, and I thought they really took advantage of it.
With Isaiah out, I mean, everyone kind of probably anticipates, okay, Robbie's going to go out there and he's going to be your guy, and he was. Out there legend scoring. But how much was a game like this of Jew kind of being able to show, like, hey, I'm the straw that stirs the drink, regardless of who's on the floor?
Yeah, no, I thought Jew's been, he's been terrific all year. He's just been. We have a lot of guys playing a high level, and his work ethic is as good as anybody. I talked about Sam Mervis in the beginning, and Sam's is legendary. Jew's is legendary as well. Jew's an everyday guy. I mean, in here every day. If he's scores 30, he's back in the next morning. If he scores 0, he's back in the next morning. But we knew. I mean, he's playing with such confidence. His understanding of the game continues to grow. He's completely committed to being as good a player as he can. He's had an unbelievable off season to build himself to take his game to the next level. He played really well for us last year. Had that week where he was a player of the week, but he also had some dips. He won't have those dips this year. The way he's worked, the position he's put himself in, he's just been lights out, and his confidence level's through the roof because he's working and because he understands he's getting more and more comfortable inside of what we're doing, and I'm able to turn the reins over to him a lot. And he was spectacular tonight.
I think he's the living embodiment, too, of what you've talked about since day one of building that culture. He, much like Sam and Nick, didn't come here to play for you. He came for a different coach. He gave you the chance, and he's really just embraced your culture. He's embraced your style. So he's got to be a fun little recruiting tool for you, too, to say, hey, this was a defensive point guard, now turned into a 2-guard at times.
Yes, absolutely, and the way he's shooting it, and yeah, those guys. I mean, and I would put Cooper Neese in there, Julian Larry. There's a lot of guys that that's really hard. That's like coming in and embracing a step parent. It's not really they didn't come here to play for me. Like I said, I chose them, and Julian has been from day one. He's been all about winning, all about the right stuff. You're not going to find a better human being. You're not going to find somebody that cares more about the right things. Julian's as good and as happy if he scores 20 or he scores 0, and it really doesn't. As long as we win, he's great. And you're right. Like the guys that I think Julian, I think Robbie, obviously Jabo, those guys, they live and breathe our culture, and that gets the other guys on board. Because they look at them and go, okay, our best players are bought in. Okay, these guys are bought into how we do things. They all the stuff I'm talking about. They're reiterating. They're living. They're really bought into it. That creates regenerative leadership. That gets guys like Jaden Daughtry, guys like Eli Shetler, guys like Derek Force, all these young guys, even Ryan Conwell, Isaiah Swope. Okay, we're on board. If you're on board, Julian Larry, you're on board. Robbie Avila, you're on board. We're going to come on board as well. And that's what I think every team, offense, defense, culture. I've said this before. I think we've got our best aspect right now is our culture, the way these guys care, the way they do things, and as long as that's the case, you got a chance to have a special season.
Obviously, Isaiah didn't play tonight, but I asked you about him in the summer, and you talked about how you didn't really need to go back and watch any highlights because you saw it in person. Can you just talk about how you've kind of seen him kind of embrace that culture that you guys are putting together, and how big has he been to the early success you guys have had this season?
Yeah, I think, up to this point, you can make a case he's been the best two-way player in our league. I mean, what he's done defensively, too, the knock on him was always, he can score, but he doesn't really he leads the league in steals. He's second in the league in scoring. His commitment level to winning, to doing whatever it takes for the group to be successful, we knew how talented he was. The hard part with transfers always is because it's such a short runway to recruit them, is how are they going to fit culturally? It's easy to watch. Like I said, I didn't watch film on Isaiah. I watched him score 28 against us last year, and beat us in overtime. There. So it wasn't like, and his numbers spoke for themselves. It wasn't a question of could he play at this level. It was does he fit, who we are culturally, and it was a big transition for him. I think he struggled most of the summers. Our 2 scrimmages before it was live, he stunk in both of them. He really was. It was a struggle. We're like, man, is he ever gonna? And all of a sudden, it's like the light came on. But the struggles were never of him rebelling against what we were doing. It was never him not being bought in. Like he is at his core. He loves to work. He's a ferocious competitor. like he speaks our language. Like we love guys who love to compete. We love guys who, I mean, they just like that's our language. Like, and he has unbelievable work ethic. He's obviously elite talent, but his work ethic is through the roof. His care factor, and he is just a tough competitor. Loves to win. Will do anything to help the group win. Is not scared of anything. I think he's, like I said, he's been arguably, I mean, it's very early, small sample size, but you can make a case he's been, the best player in our conference, along with Xavier Johnson and Tucker DeVries, probably here through the first, 10, 11 games. And I think he's going to have an unbelievable career because we got that part right. Like, he fits us unbelievably well, and he complements Ryan, Julian, Robbie, Jason, those guys all, because they put winning and because they put team success ahead of individual success, it actually allows them counterintuitively to all flourish. If you think about how they play, they're all able to do their thing together because they put team success ahead of individual numbers and stats.
You've already played on the main stage once this year with Alabama. You have the Las Vegas tournament. You get to be the appetizer for Purdue, Arizona next weekend.
Well, they're the dessert. We're the main dish,
There
I
you go.
think.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that's the main attraction, I believe, is our game. I don't know if people might stay for that Purdue Arizona game, but everybody wants that Indiana State Ball State game.
Just how excited are you to, obviously show off Indiana State basketball to an audience that maybe hasn't watched it? Maybe they've seen box scores, but they haven't seen Josh Schertz's Indiana State Sycamores in person.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable opportunity to go play at Gamebridge, to go play in Indy. To be on that stage is going to be just a tremendous chance for us to showcase our program and what we're about. And we've got a great opponent. I don't know. I know they're 7-2 going into today. I don't know if they play today or not. But Ball State's, 7-2 right now. We'll go in 9-1. They both won 20+ last year. It's going to be a whale of a game. Michael's got a really good team, but so do we. And I know our guys. They're going to be ready. We're going to take 2 days off. We just finished. This was the 7th game in a 17-day stretch. I mean, and 2 really long trips. When you look at, we were in Vegas for 6 days. And then Peoria and DeKalb, which wasn't quite as fun, for 5 days. But we were gone for 11 of those days. It's been a lot of games in a short period of time. We need 2 days. We'll take 2 days, and they'll come back Tuesday, and they'll be raring to go because, like I said, it's an opportunity to compete, opportunity to play a really good opponent on a neutral floor, on a big stage, and like we kind of talked about going to Bradley, like if you're really a competitor, there's nothing better than getting a chance to challenge yourself, test yourself, to take on these big-time challenges. Our guys will be amped, ready to go. I can't wait for practice Tuesday, but going to give them 2 days to kind of decompress and reset and then get ready for what will be a really good game and a really big-time opportunity for us Saturday afternoon.